Imagine spending 27 years in prison, only to emerge not with bitterness, but with a vision of unity that would transform a nation. This is the story of Nelson Mandela, a man whose name became synonymous with freedom, yet whose full journey remains shrouded in myth. Born Rolilela Mandela on July 18, 1918, in the tiny village of Mvizo, his early life gave no hint of the global icon he would become. His father, a counselor to the Tembu king, instilled in him a sense of justice that would later define his path. At just 7 years old, the teacher gave him the name Nelson, unknowingly branding a future legend. Mandela's rise was not inevitable. Before the prison cell on Robben Island, before the Nobel Peace Prize, he was a young lawyer fighting apartheid in the courts. In 1952, he and Oliver Tambo opened Mandela & Tambo, South Africa's first black-owned law firm. Their office in Johannesburg became a refuge for those crushed by apartheid's brutal laws. But the law had its limits. By the 1960s, Mandela had embraced more radical methods, helping found Umkhonto we Sizwe, the armed wing of the African National Congress. This decision would cost him his freedom. On Robben Island, prisoner 46,664 endured back-breaking labor in limestone quarries, his eyesight permanently damaged by the glare. Yet he turned his prison into a university, teaching fellow inmates and honing his skills as a negotiator. When he finally walked free in 1990, the world expected a fiery revolutionary. Instead, they met a statesman. Mandela's greatest act of defiance was his refusal to hate. As president, he invited his former jailers to his inauguration. He poured energy into reconciliation, knowing South Africa's future depended on healing. Yet this iconic image often overshadows the complexities of his legacy. Mandela was both a peacemaker and a pragmatist, a socialist who embraced market reforms, a nationalist who became a global symbol. His later years were dedicated to fighting HIV, AIDS and child poverty through his foundations. When he passed in 2013, the world mourned not just a leader, but the very idea of moral courage. His story challenges us to ask, what does it truly mean to fight for justice?